McLaughlin here, and tonight what I want to do is I want to take you through a process when starting a new distributor, having a conversation with somebody to introduce them and open them to what network marketing is and specifically what Beachbody is, and how that conversation goes, or a series of conversation goes, and then starting that new individual in a hot market approach, which I'll go through here. So when we're talking with somebody and having conversations, we start a process there, and we have a series of conversations, okay? And they decide that they're ready to start their business. They like what they've seen, they've established a level of trust, okay? So here, what we're doing is we're exchanging money for product, okay? And the concept is that once we've exchanged money for product, what we want to do is we want to, as quickly as possible, ideally within 24 hours to 7 days, we want to have a full return, okay? So we want to be able to take that product that somebody has paid for and get them to talk to their heart market and return the product back for money, okay? What this allows us to do is it creates the most important thing for that individual. It creates their personal story, okay? They've had a personal success story once they decided to sign up and open their business. And what's one thing that somebody can always remember? It's their own personal story. If I told you my story, you might get it right. You might miss a few points. You might blank on it when you needed to have a conversation with somebody. But what's one thing you can honestly remember? And that's your own story, because it happened to you. And so you take this story, and now you're ready to ask people 3 questions. Are you happy? Do you have a plan? And you want to see one? Okay? And if you notice, I'm going to go back just for a quick moment. From here, this point, to here, notice how I said conversations. It's not a, Eric Worre likes to say this, and I agree wholeheartedly with it. And I made the mistake early on thinking that it was an event, right? This process being an event. That's not what it is. It's not a one-time conversation with somebody or sales pitch on somebody. If you're going at it as a sales pitch, you're doing it wrong. Because what we need to make sure that we focus on in these series of conversations is that we are interested and not interesting. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is we can't talk about ourselves. It needs to be about that individual and what's in their life and what's going on for them and why they like doing what it is that they like doing and how's their time permitted and what's their job and how long have they been doing it. It's about them. It's not about us. And by being interested in somebody and not interesting, we develop a level of trust and rapport that gives us the privilege of being able to have conversations. And this could be 3 or 4 conversations with somebody, if not more. And we'll get into that in a moment. But that allows us to ask these 3 questions. Are you happy? Got a plan? Want to see one? Now, I'm not going to walk up to somebody off the street or somebody that I may even know. I may know somebody for 10 years, and I haven't talked to them in a year. I'm not going to go have a conversation with somebody and ask them these 3 questions. My intent on having a conversation with them is not going to be getting to these 3 questions. It's like, taking a pen and just, sticking somebody with it in the face. I mean, it's just rude. So by developing relationships with somebody, we can ask these 3 questions, and we're not doing it directly. And what I've found personally is I prefer to put it more on me. I prefer to ask the conversations of myself with somebody. As I've developed a relationship and as I've developed a rapport with somebody, I put it on myself. About 6 months ago, somebody asked me a question, a good buddy of mine, and he caught me off guard when he asked me this question. He asked me if I was happy. And I thought, well, that's a weird question. Yeah, I've got 2 great kids. I've got a great wife, a house, a roof over my head. Got a great job paying the bills. So, yeah, I'm happy, sure. He said, no. I think you're missing the point. Are you living the life now that you expected to live 10 years ago? And that made me really think. It made me really reflect on what I wanted 10 years ago and where I was at now. And did I have everything that I wanted? And when I really started to think about that, the answer was no. If I was being honest with myself and with my buddy, the answer was no. I didn't have everything I wanted. And then he asked me a follow-up question. He asked me if I had a plan to get everything that I wanted. And that one really got me off guard. Yeah, because I didn't. I had, as I said, I got a good job. I got a roof over my head, so I'm paying my mortgage, and I've got a good 401k, and I've got life insurance, and I'm doing all the right stuff. But I'm not getting ahead. I don't see myself being able to live the dreams and the life that I have envisioned for myself in the current sort of rat race, if you will, that I've got going on right now. Do you ever feel like that? And you just let that hang for a moment. And somebody may say, yes, I feel like that, and somebody may say, no, I don't feel like that. And if somebody says, yeah, I totally agree, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, it's pretty cool. My buddy introduced me to a plan. I'm on the right track. And again, let that hang for a second. And somebody's going to say, well, what's your plan? What are you doing? Yeah, well, take that, tell them your personal story, and then would you? If I gave you a DVD that had the plan outlined on it, would you watch it? And from that, we flowed directly into Eric Worre's GoPro philosophy and asking questions and setting appointments. And this gets somebody into the information exchange or the information wheel. This could be a DVD. This could be a company event. This could be a web presentation. This could be a 3-way call. It could be a number of series of conversations that we're having with somebody, continuing to follow the if I would you philosophy. And here, both at this point and at this point, we've got 2 outcomes here. We've got somebody that might say yes, and somebody that might say no. And all we are is a consultant asking questions and giving somebody a choice. And if they say yes, great. And if they say no, great. It's not our problem. It's not our, we see it. We've got a solution. If somebody wants to look at it and have it, then great. And if they don't want to, then great. Now, if somebody comes down here and when they've seen enough information and they've established that level of trust to get to this point, they signed up, we take them, exchange money for product, and take them through the hot market to get their story. The things to remember is this is a great plan. This is the plan that I use right now, and it's been working flawlessly for me. And the key is to be interested in somebody and not be interesting. Don't make the conversation all about you and what you've done and what your family's doing. Make it about them and what they've got going on in their life. The other thing is, remember, this is an event. This is not an event. This is a process. It's a conversation. And when you get somebody into a process here and you act as a consultant and have the conversation in the best interest of them, the trust factor is established. You're not trying to sell and pitch somebody, because when you do that, their guard instantly goes up. And you're genuinely interested in helping them. And then you take them through this exact same process, which they can then go duplicate themselves because they've been through this process personally. You teach them this process over here, which I'll do in a separate video. They establish their own story, and now they're off to the races. So that's what I've got for you tonight. If you've got questions, please reach out to me and let me know how I can help you. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.